Whether they're bulldozing lanes in the run game or keeping your franchise quarterback upright, everything in football starts up front. The offensive line, 5 massive men communicating in what seems like ancient code, turning chaos into choreography. To most fans, it looks like brute force and guesswork, but like everything in football, there's order in the madness. You just have to peel back the layers of jargon and complexity to see it. So today, let's break down those walls and talk about one of the most misunderstood parts of the game, pass protection. Before we get tactical, we need to nail down a few definitions, because you can't understand the how until you understand the who and the where. The offensive line has 5 players, 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center. Tackles are the big money guys, long arms, fast feet, and the impossible job of stopping the NFL's best athletes off the edge. Guards are built like forklifts, low center of gravity, meant to move massive defensive tackles and plug interior rush lanes. And the center, the brains of the operation. He's the smallest of the bunch, but he sets the calls, delivers the snap, and keeps everyone in sync. A great center is worth their weight in gold. Now, the first step in protecting your quarterback is understanding gaps. The space between each lineman is labeled from the inside out, A, B, C, and so on. The A gaps are closest to the center, and they're the most sacred real estate on the field. Interior pressure, that's death for an offense. That's why O-lines always protect inside out. If you can't block everyone, and sometimes you can't, the rule is simple. Leave the guy furthest from the quarterback unblocked. To describe defensive alignment, coaches use techniques, or techs, which label how a defender lines up relative to the offensive line. A 0 tech lines up directly over the center. Move out 1 gap and you've got a 1 tech. Slide further toward the edge and you'll hear terms like 3 tech, 5 tech, or even a wide 9. That's your edge rusher screaming off the tight end's shoulder. The box, that's your battlefield. It extends 2 yards outside the widest lineman and about 8 yards deep. Every defender in that area is considered in the box. How they line up defines the defensive front, which in turn determines how the offense will protect. That's the groundwork. Now we can start building the pocket, that small, precious bubble of calm where your quarterback can breathe. To do that, every offense uses protection schemes, coordinated plans for who blocks who, depending on the defensive front. The play call sets the base protection, but the front you're facing determines the adjustments. And this is where the O-line's communication shines. The code words, the points, the mic calls, it's all part of making sure 5 men move like one. There are dozens of variations, but most protections boil down to 5 core types. Let's start with the simplest one, big on big, or as coaches call it, B.o.B. This is exactly what it sounds like. Your big dudes versus their big dudes. Every lineman takes a man, one-on-one, and wins. It's the man coverage of protection schemes. Easy to teach, physical, and direct. Against some fronts, it's beautiful. Everyone's accounted for, clean angles, solid pocket, but it's got its weaknesses. Defensive line stunts and twists, where defenders crisscross gaps, can wreck B.o.B. schemes. Linemen can get pulled out of position or bump into each other, chasing their man. That's why you rarely see it used alone in today's NFL. It's situational, great against certain looks like bear or eagle fronts, but too risky to be your base call. Full slide. Here the entire line moves in one direction, left or right, blocking a specific gap, not a specific man. The backside defender is then handled by the running back or fullback. It's simple, effective, and perfect for quick throws or play action, especially when you need clean sight lines for your quarterback on a 3-step drop. But simplicity comes with trade-offs. It often leaves your running back one-on-one with the defensive end, not ideal. And because the line slides away, if the defense attacks from the opposite side, your quarterback might be left hanging. Half slide. Now we can get into the most common, most versatile protection, half slide. Sometimes called jet or turnback. Think of it as a mix of the first two. On the strong side, the side with the tight end, it's big on big. Linemen take their man. On the back side, it's a slide. Everyone zones off the gaps working together. To make this work, the offense needs to identify the Mike linebacker. Not necessarily the real middle linebacker, but the defender they'll use as a reference point to set protection. The line then slides towards the first weak side player from the Mike, adjusting the pocket to fit the front. The running back joins in too, reading inside out. If the Mike comes, he takes him. If not, he moves to the next threat. If both blitz, the QB's got to know it, because someone's coming free, and that ball needs to be gone yesterday. Half slide is incredibly flexible, but it's not bulletproof. The biggest problem? When the defense sends 4 rushers from the weak side, called 4 weak, you're outnumbered. There are a few answers. The QB can make a Tom call, sending the running back weak to pick up the extra man. You can make a fan call, pushing the tackle out wide and having the back fill inside. But every fix comes with a new risk, a mismatch, a free rusher, or a forced hot throw. Hot routes and sight adjustments are how offenses live with this. If there's an unblocked blitzer, the QB knows exactly where to go, especially to the vacated space behind the rush. It's beautiful when it works. But if the defense knows your rules, they can sit on those hot routes and force short throws, dictating where the ball goes. And just when you think you've solved 4 weak, here comes its evil twin, 4 strong. 4 rushers from the strong side can mess with half slide rules too, especially when you've already committed your slide away from it. That's where audibles and opposite calls come in. Joker calls that flip the slide, or stay calls that keep an extra blocker, usually a tight end or a fullback in protection. Every option fixes one problem and creates another, and that's why protections in the NFL are fluid. What works on one play might change the next. At the high school or college level, you might have 1 or 2 solutions. At the NFL level, you have all of them, and you better use them fast. Play action protection. Now here's where things get fun. Play action. Not only does faking the run slow down pursuit, it changes the geometry of the field. Defenders bite, angles shift, and suddenly your offensive line gets to dictate the rules instead of reacting to them. One of the most common examples is fake power, pulling a guard to sell the run, getting linebackers to step up, and then throw right behind them. From under center or shotgun, it's the same idea. Use motion and misdirection to buy time. Moving the quarterback off his spot with play action also keeps him safe. The rush has to locate him all over again, and by the time they do, the ball's already gone. You'll often hear 2 types here, boot and naked boot. In naked boot, the line blocks in one direction and the quarterback rolls the other way, completely unprotected on the backside. It's risky, but explosive. In a boot action, though, a tight end, back, or lineman works back across the formation to seal off the edge. That small difference can be the difference between a sack and a touchdown. The last category, rollouts, or sprint protections. These are designed to move the launch point entirely, sprinting the QB toward the sideline while the line flows that same way. The backside tackle hooks in to protect the edge, and the back either helps seal that edge or cuts the end man on the line, depending on alignment. These plays create quick, clean reads, often with routes breaking to the flat or into the pick concept. Perfect for short yardage or blitz-heavy situations. If none of these schemes work, offenses still have tricks up their sleeve. You can beat the rush with timing, quick game, 3-step drops, or screens that use the defense's aggression against them. Or you can spread the field, take players out of the box, simplify the defensive front, and make blitzes easier to identify. Every adjustment is part of the same chess match. Offenses and defenses trading answers, move for move, snap after snap. Just like a crushing pancake block, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.